Hello, fourth grade. Today we are going to add and subtract unlike fractions. Well, what is an unlike fraction? Well, first let's talk about what a like fraction is. Take a look over here at these two examples. What do you notice about this equation? If you said they both have the denominator of 9, you are correct. That is a like fraction. That means that they both have the same amount of partitions in the whole. So this first fraction here is representing 6 out of 9 whole, 9 pieces overall. And the second fraction is 2 pieces out of 9 pieces total. Okay, so they represent 2 wholes divided into 9 pieces. And that's easy to add then, because then we can just add the numerators and figure out that it is 8/9. Okay? And remember, the denominator stays the same because we're still talking about the same amount of pieces of the wholes. Okay? If you look at this second equation, 1/2 plus 1/4, you will notice that the denominators are different. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on that because we need to make them have the same denominators so that we can add or subtract them. But today we're going to do that by repartitioning. We have to make one of them equivalent to the other by repartitioning shapes, and then we can add and subtract those fractions. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Let's take a look at number 1. It will make a lot more sense when we do it. We have 1/2 plus 1/4. Is this a like or an unlike fraction? If you said unlike, you are right. So what you do in that case is you find the higher denominator, the greater denominator, which happens to be 4. And so we know we're going to keep fourths. Okay? So this one, because it already has a 4, we're going to just move that over there. Okay? So, hold on, my eraser is not working here. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. So we're moving that over. That means our answer will have fourths. If you look over here, we have a 4th. We're not going to touch that because it's already done. But this one up here is only in halves. So to find the equivalent, to turn this half into the equivalent with fourths, we need to repartition. That means we're going to cut this in half again so that it has 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, all we need to do is add up the colored pieces, which is 1, 2. It's 2/4. Okay, that's all we're doing. Now we can go ahead and add. So we're going to add 2 plus 1 is 3. So the answer is 3/4. Okay, let's do number 2. We have a pie that is divided into 8ths. That's this pie right here. Then we have one that is divided into 4ths. That's the top one. So we're going to have to make the smaller one equal to, in pieces, we have to make an equivalent fraction that has a like denominator with the greater denominator. So that means that it will be 8ths because 8 is greater than 4. All right. So we know we're going to use this 5/8. It stays the same because it already has an 8 as the denominator. Okay. So that means then that we need to find the equivalent fraction for 1/4, but we need it to be in eighths. So this is 4 pieces right now, this whole. We need to make it into 8 pieces. All right. So that means we're going to have to cut each piece in half because 4 times 2 is 8. All we have to do now is just count up the colored parts. How many colored pieces are there? 2. So 1/4 is equal to 2/8. So now we can go ahead and add our numerators. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7/8. Is this starting to make sense now? Okay. And this line here is just if you want to rewrite 7/8 there, but you don't need to. All right, let's do number 3. 4/5 plus 1/10, which is the greater denominator, tenths. So that is the one we're going to use as our denominator. So that means we need to change this 5th into tenths. So we're going to divide a line in the middle to make 5 times 2 is 10. So now we have 10 pieces. Okay. Then all we need to do is recount the colored pieces. So count them up, and how many do you get? 8/10. This one stays the same. I forgot to put the 1 there. Add your numerators. 8 and 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9/10. All right, let's do it again. Number 4. Okay, so we have a half. We have a whole that's divided into 2, and then we have a whole that's divided into 4. Which one is the greater one? 4ths. Okay, and they did that for us here. See that? Okay, so we don't need to do that on this one. And they pictured the top one only. Do you know why? Because we are subtracting. Okay, so we're going to be taking a portion from this one. Okay? So this one already has a 4. So we'll just move that over. Now we need to find the equivalent to this one. This is divided into 2. See it right here. 1, 2. We need to turn it into 4ths. So let's cut that one more time. Now we have 4ths. How many pieces are colored now? Instead of 1/2, now that we have 4ths, it is 2/4. Now we can subtract. Don't forget to look at the sign. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1/4 is the answer. Okay. See if you can do number 5. Pause, work it out, and then start the video again because I'm going to work through it and you can check your answer that way. So we have 2/3 minus 2/6. Well, 6 is the greater one, so that means we're going to use 6 as our denominator. This 2/6 will stay the same because it already has 6 as a denominator. We need to convert these 3 into 6ths. So we'll have to partition that down the middle. And that gives us 6 equal pieces. How many pieces are colored now? 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2/6 is the answer. Same thing, pause, work number 6 out, restart, and check. Step 1, look at the denominators. 8 is the greater denominator. 1/8 will stay the same because it already has 8 as a denominator. Now we need to convert this 4 into 8 pieces. So we will partition it in half. Now there's 8 pieces. How many are colored? 6. Be careful of the sign. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5/8 is the answer. And that's it. Alright, so hopefully this is getting easier. Okay, let's look at the back. Now on this side, you're going to just be doing the same thing. Be very, very careful of your signs. Here's where they're located. Okay, and here's what the minus looks like. Okay, so make sure you look at those. You're going to work through all those, all 6, and then at the bottom you have greater than, less than, or equal to. You're going to compare those fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, and then you'll turn that in. And then you also need to do your homework page, which is page 227. Yes, 227. And then turn those in. All right. Until next time. Oh, yeah, you know what? If you have any questions or you need me to work through these extra with you, you can Google Hangout me anytime you need to. Okay? All right. See ya next time.